Hello and welcome, dear friends. Today I'll talk about Jupiter and Rahu conjunction. What kind of results it will give to a native. If you've not subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe. Jupiter and Rahu conjunction is also called Guru Chandal Yoga in Jyotish. Now, wherever Rahu and Jupiter they are placed together, or they may be in the same house, or they may have, they may aspect each other. Then also we will say that this Guru Chandal Yoga, this conjunction has formed. We will say that this yoga has formed. Now, what results can a native expect when there is a Jupiter and Rahu conjunction in any particular house, or if Jupiter and Rahu are aspecting each other? Then we can say that Guru stands for education, also higher education. Guru stands for knowledge and wisdom. So Rahu is obstruction. So there will be obstruction in the path of education. It will be difficult for the native to acquire education smoothly. There will be some obstacles which the native will have to overcome if he has to acquire education. Then also we can say that educational professions that are related to education, like teaching profession. So if somebody is doing a job of a teacher and is in that sort of profession, then there will be some obstruction again. That person may not be able to continue with his or her job. He may have to leave the job. He may not be able to continue with the job. For some reason or the other, he may have to lose the job. And then he may try another teaching job, because teaching job is represented by Jupiter. He may try for another teaching job, and there also there might be problems. So there is usually a problem. If you go for the teaching profession, then you will see you may be able to do, but you will have to overcome a lot of obstacles. Then also these natives, they believe that usually they feel that they can adopt some shortcut method, and they can solve some mathematical problem, or maybe they can study in a different method. Usually they don't follow the method which is taught in schools or institutions. The conventional method usually they don't follow. They will study. Their approach will be unconventional. Why? Because Rahu is the breaker of all tradition and conventions and norms. Rahu breaks them. So the native will be such. The native, if the native is a student, then the student will study in such a way, his or her way of studying or looking at a subject will be very different, will be very unique also. And such a native will be intelligent also. Such a native is usually intelligent, because Guru is also intellect and wisdom and higher knowledge, and Rahu will expand all those qualities also. So such a native will be very intelligent. But again, Rahu is also doubt, confusion. So these people, they will be very intelligent, but then they'll be so knowledgeable, but again they will also be in the habit of doubting others, doubting everything, doubting all customs, traditions. They will doubt everything. They will not take anything for granted. They will always keep questioning endlessly. And also they have this notion that their way of looking at reality is the best way. They are not very accommodative. They believe that their perspective is only the correct perspective. Somehow Rahu doesn't allow them to see that there could be some other perspective also. Somehow they remain oblivious of that. At least I have seen up to the age of 42 years, because after 42 years Rahu usually gives good results to a native. So after maybe the age of 42, the native is able to realize maybe realize whatever misconceptions he had, and he's able to overcome them. He's able to come out of them maybe. But otherwise Rahu creates this illusion around the native. It is there, I have seen. Now friends, whatever results I am giving you here, they may not be very accurate for you, because we also have to take into consideration the nakshatra in which this conjunction is taking place, and the nakshatra lord where he is placed, and in which sign, the sign lord. which planets are aspecting Guru and Jupiter and Rahu. All these things will have to be taken into consideration. But whatever results I am discussing today or here, those results are general results. You will definitely, get some, effect of those results. The degree will vary, but you will get some effect. Yes. Then Jupiter is also the significator of nose. So such natives may have a broad nose or a nose which is bigger, nose which is big, slightly big, because Rahu will expand that. Rahu is the Karaka or the significator of expansion and growth. Even like Jupiter also is the significator of expansion of all good things, and Jupiter usually is considered to be a natural benefic, but Rahu will expand everything. If you are earning a bad name somehow, like because these people usually who have this yoga, they usually break custom. So you have to be very careful, because Rahu will now expand that. And everyone in the society will come to know that you don't believe in tradition, and maybe if you have done something which is immoral in the eyes of society, then everyone will come to know, because there will be an expansion now, and it may cause defamation also to the native. So the native has to be careful. Then also we can say that Guru or Jupiter is Pran Vayu, oxygen. Jupiter is the significator of oxygen, which gives us life. That is why Jupiter is the significator of life also. So these natives, what will happen, Jupiter is oxygen and Rahu is obstruction. So these natives will have problems in breathing, or will have some breathing problem, breathing difficulty. They may not have, at the early stage, but later on, they may find that they have some breathing problems, or they may have some disease which is related to the respiratory system. They may also have asthma, some difficulty in breathing. Yes, they might feel suffocated. They might not like air-conditioned rooms. They will always want to be in open air. They may not like air-conditioned rooms. I have seen that. They want open air. Why? Because they have some difficulty in breathing. And they usually breathe with their mouth open. And they usually breathe through their mouth, not through their nose. Because Rahu also is the significator of mouth. So the native will breathe through his or her mouth, not nose. Even while sleeping, they might sleep with their mouth open. Okay, so this I have seen. Then also, what else we can say? Then we can say that Rahu doesn't believe in custom, tradition. So, this native will always question all types of traditions. This native may also question, even his family. Even he may be very critical about even his own family members. Yes, so this is seen. Especially if in this conjunction Jupiter is afflicted, then the native will have problems with even his or her own family. Yes. Then also when they marry, they don't usually believe in arranged marriage. They go for love marriage, and they usually will marry someone who belongs to some other caste or religion or language or community, or even if the language or religion is same, then at least they will marry someone who belongs to some other state. Maybe within the country, but to some other state. Suppose if the person is from West Bengal, then he might marry somebody from Kerala, a different state. Okay, so this is also seen. Then also this native, who has this yoga, will definitely leave his homeland, wherever his hometown, wherever he was there, and he will go to some other state. Usually he will change the state and he will go to a culture which is very different. Just I gave you an example just now. Say you leave your house, say in Assam, and you go and stay in Maharashtra. So it is a totally different culture there. So that also can be seen. And or you can go to some foreign land, you can go abroad, you can leave the country and you can settle down. Why? Because Rahu also is the Karaka of foreign land in Nadi Jyotish. So you may Definitely you may have to leave your homeland and go elsewhere. So this is usually seen. Then what else we can say? Rahu is also the karaka of allopathy. So these natives usually believe in allopathic medicine. Whenever they fall sick, they will always straight away go for allopathic medicine. They will not go for Ayurveda or homeopathy. This is seen usually because Rahu is the karaka of allopathy. Then Rahu is also the karaka of in-laws or the family of in-laws. So this native, whether male or female, will at some point of his life, he or she will definitely live close to his in-laws. Like he will live in a house or in a place which is close to his in-laws. And his in-laws will live somewhere nearby. So this is also seen. In-laws also will be there. Maybe in the first part of his or her life, this may not be there. But even after the age of 42, Rahu gives good results. So, but if this is good for the native, then it may happen. Maybe after the age of 40, suddenly such a situation will arise that he will have to stay close to his in-laws, he or she. Then what else we can say? Then we can also say that Rahu and Jupiter, we have to look at the degrees now. In what kind of degrees they are placed. Suppose Jupiter's degree is lower than that of Rahu. That means the native now will move towards all the significations and qualities of Rahu. The native by birth, he was not somebody, definitely nobody is an addict by birth. Rahu shows all kinds of addictions, by the way. So the native now degree of Jupiter is less and Jupiter is the Jiva Karak, Rahu's degree is higher. So the native in future, like over time, the native may go for some kind of addiction. He may become an addict, any kind of addict he may become. So the native has to be very careful and has to avoid that. Otherwise this yoga will not give good results. This yoga is also capable of giving the native very good results because Jupiter is wisdom and knowledge and Rahu will expand that. But you have to know how to tap the results of the planets for your own benefit. You have to know, you have to stay away from all addictions. Otherwise, and there will be a great propensity to, become some sort of an addict. And you have to resist that temptation. Otherwise, this yoga will become inauspicious then. And these natives usually they have a tendency. Either they are already into some kind of addiction or they want to become an addict. They can't, resist themselves. This is also seen. Then also we can say if Jupiter's and also Rahu is also hidden knowledge, whatever is hidden, because Rahu is darkness or shadow. So whatever is hidden, even Rahu shows, tantric studies, that is also seen. Black magic, Rahu even represents that, even politics. So the native may be interested in these things. Yes, because native is moving towards Rahu gradually. Native may adopt some shortcut to earn money. He may not feel like, working hard. He may be very lethargic and lazy, and there will be lack of discipline also. That's what I have seen. So he will try to adopt some shortcut to earn money or to get success. So native has to be very careful. So these things, these tendencies will be there. And also if the degree, now we will see if the degree of Jupiter is higher than that of Rahu, then what will happen? That means in Nadi Jyotish we believe that Jupiter has already imbibed all the qualities of Rahu. Jupiter's degree is higher. So Jupiter has the qualities, already the qualities of Rahu are present. That means the person already maybe is into, if it is negative, then maybe the person is already into some kind of addiction. Maybe. Or maybe the person is somebody who doesn't believe in any kind of tradition. The person may be into even extramarital relation. Why? Because marriage is also a social institution and the person will not believe in that institution. So we can say that illegitimate relationship may be there. Now the Guru or the Jiva Karak, Jupiter has already all the significations of Rahu will be there. So what you have to do? Then you have to always come out of all these things, because these things will now be very harmful for the native actually. in the long run. So if this is happening, then you have to understand that it's happening because of this yoga, because Rahu is very close to Jupiter in your chart. Then you have to come out of all such illegitimate or incestuous whatever relationships. You have to do that. That is the best remedy to, make this yoga work, work well for you. Then also, if Rahu's degree is higher, Jupiter's degree is higher and Rahu's is lower. Rahu is also the significator of grandfather, paternal grandfather and maternal grandmother. So Jupiter's degree is higher now, Rahu's is lower, so Jupiter is of a higher degree, so greater degree. So all the qualities of the paternal grandfather will be there in the native. If the paternal grandfather was somebody who was short-tempered, then the native also will be short-tempered. If the paternal grandfather had good qualities, then those also will be there in the native. Or the maternal grandmother. So these things you have to see, because we take into consideration the degree. So friends, that's all I wanted to say about this conjunction. So this conjunction may take place in any house of a native. So these are the results which you can expect, and subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you so much.